Global delays, low vision. Why is my child mouthing everything? And sorry, I'm going to do this. Oh, this is where I don't have the phone in right. Am I good now? Oh, sorry. Take two. Global delays and low vision. Why is my child mouthing everything? Did I miss a milestone? Yes, several. The first milestone is vision. Vision is a milestone. Vision is very important, and all your milestones develop around vision. People don't realize that. They think that walking and talking and so forth, but when they're starting to miss the vision, you're not going to go. You can't go to the next milestone without the vision. You just can't. Now, a lot of people think of Helen Keller and so forth, and she could walk. Helen Keller was probably fine until the age of 2 when she got sick and lost her vision. And that's where she had to go in there. But she had all her milestones prior to that. So it's a different kind of situation, right? When you're visually impaired, and this is why, like in the Fast Start guys, look at your charts, your vision charts with your milestones charts, and you're going to see how you can't get to the next milestone without the next vision. And that's why I'm always about looking at a child's vision. It's really, really important, right? We can't excel at one thing without the other. Another thing is your sensory integration. Now, most people think of topical senses, right? You're seeing and you're hearing and so forth. But I look at my subsenses. I presented human subsenses back in Harvard, 2018? And that's all documented. But depth perception, gravity, sense of balance, all of those kind of things, right? Vision is our number one sense, right? If I hear something, yes, I might hear it. What am I going to do? I'm going to look to see what that stimuli was. If I start saying about spaghetti or Chinese food, right, you're visually trying to think about these things, whether you like it or not. The vision comes in first, and then you think, oh, I got sick last time, or oh, that's amazing, and all those kind of things. The mouth starts to water, and I might hear the food cooking or the restaurant, and all that kind of vibe comes into play. But it's all organized around vision. But the other big milestone that you're looking at, right, and this is where, again, we're going into the neuromuscular clinic, and what I'm covering there is your gravitational reflexes are really off, right? This is the big milestone that's missing on going into the reflexes. So the gravitational reflexes are off. When you have a child with a genetic condition or global delays and so forth, you didn't establish your first relationships to gravity. Most likely there was a first breath interruption. Breathing somehow had to be assisted or it was labored. You didn't get that within the first 3 months of care. You've got to go after that breathing course, right? Because that's the easiest way to oppose gravity is breath. And that's the first organization for the brain is gravity. You'll see why I'm bringing up gravity in a second. The second set of gravity is your absolute horizon, where you are in space. We think of when we have our baby here and we're placing our baby down or picking them up. They shouldn't go into a startle or a flop. They just kind of float in our arms, sort of like a plane coming in for a landing kind of thing that you're used to or experience that. But with genetics and so forth, we tend to have a low tone. The low tone is why gravity hasn't set in around the skin. Skin is our most important organ, right? And so when I stretch or ATNR and all that, we're actually forcing against gravity, which didn't kick in with your child, right? But if you didn't have an ATNR, you didn't have the absolute horizon. You can chase after ATNR all you want, but you have to do the absolute horizon first, right? And work on that aspect. Why is this important? Your jaw and anus are the sensories for gravity when you're a baby. Every sensory has two eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, but it's the mouth and the anus. So when they're chewing and so forth, and that's where babies start putting things into their mouth, they're actually starting to regulate how much something weighs. When you are releasing fecal matter, right, that tailbone, that coccyx. So right now, when a baby first starts, anyway, they just go, right? And then they start to get that sensation, oh, that's going to hit. But again, why didn't you tell me you had to go? Because honestly, they just get the sensation and they still are going. But they can hold a bit more. The weight is starting to get more available, right? And eventually, you'll be able to feel that weight, hold that weight for a while, and then control when you are going to eliminate. And that's his potty training, and it's going on there. But so that's where those dynamics come into play. What goes in has to come out, but that's your gravity. right? So if they're still chewing and so forth, they don't have, I can tell you right now without even seeing a video, they don't have a relationship with gravity that's proper. Where do we go build that foundation? That breathing and that absolute horizon, those are the first two major gravities things. You can watch my gravitational presentation from Prague, and that explains the gravitational reflexes, but under the gravitational reflexes, and then we get the sub or the primitive reflexes that go off of that. And that's what I'm presenting now with the neuromuscular clinic, right? And so you can see where that chain of events comes into play. And that's where you're going on that, right? Now, why some childs might bite themselves, I don't have the vision to see, and kids play and they do stuff and they're checking in, seeing where someone's at, and could they go back and play. But they've learned that if they bite themselves, sometimes it's here and sometimes it's here. I'm telling you, they can draw blood. It doesn't matter that it hurts them. They know that 3 adults are going to come running if they need an adult. So they don't have that visual like, oh, you're over there. Okay, let me go back and play. So just the jaw being that sensitive, if I have something like this, right, just my touch, guys, knows how much I have to put into it. People think that is a memory and so forth, and a muscle memory and so forth, but if something's going to be heavy or not, we know how to work and have that finesse. Again, this is what you see with cerebral palsy. They'll just grab everything like it weighs 10 pounds for that reason. The same kind of conversation that I'm having. They didn't have these explorations of mouthing things and so forth, or going into, but I'm telling you, the milestones that are missing, right? You still have to work on those visual skills. Even if you have low vision, we still have to put them in. Look at the milestones. What should be happening now? Oh, we need peripheral vision. And that's where you're starting to work with. You've got to coordinate your vision to where it is with milestone. This is where, again, I know you, but I mean, without seeing a video of what we're talking about, and that's where it goes into play. And these are the milestones, that are missing, and needs to be worked with for the system, right? And I'll say the system because to me, the brain, the body, movement, it's all together. It's not separate. Has to work to coordinate together. And again, that's in your Fast Start program. All those milestone charts that you can sit there and assess where your child's at. Oh, I get it. My child's vision's here. I'm thinking my milestone should be here. This is where I've got the gap. That's how you use the program. The program's set up so it's specific for you, right? And so I hope these comments help. It's always better for me if I get a video, but there's where we're at.